Hi, and welcome to the Crit Hit Wild podcast, where we talk about all things Marvel Crisis Protocol and review a different character every week. I'm your host, Jared.
I'm Fred.
And I'm Brandon.
Yeah, and I'm back this week after having to take a week off due to scheduling conflicts. So I just want to give a shout out to Fred here on the cast for kind of taking up the mantle while I was gone, and just for you guys in general, just kind of taking it over. So thank you guys very much.
You're welcome. It was fun. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it. You
Uh,
better watch out, Jared.
yeah, they're gonna vote me out. Gonna vote me out. Isn't that right,
They're
Brandon?
gonna slash
That
your
does
tires,
that
is what
doesn't
they
that
did.
doesn't hit the same as it once did.
um, yeah, Brad is not going to be joining us this week due to a scheduling issue, but where he is missing this week, we had a new mutant get released. Pyro has been linked, so we're gonna look at Human Torch. We don't want Brad to miss out on a mutant, so we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna just bite the bullet and do Human Torch finally. So the meme has died, unfortunately, but
We're killing the bit.
we are.
We're doing it. We're
Guys,
doing the guy.
getting the axe. Um, so news and announcements. As far as tournaments go, just to shout it out one more time, we do not have a tournament in Charleston this month. Normally Brad runs them, but he's unable to this month, so we're not gonna have a tournament. I believe, unless I've missed something, I am out of tournaments to plug because the one in Ohio and Booker Games, that should be the weekend that this releases, as well as the one at Paradox Trading Post in Washington. That should also be running when this drops, I believe. So the Paradox Trading Post in Washington had 24 players. Well, it was scheduled for 24 players, so hopefully they maxed out because that's a damn good tournament. We got 24, right?
Yeah, and it's an LVO qualifier, isn't it?
I think it's a points qualifier, yeah. So,
A points qualifier.
yeah, good luck. Good luck to everybody participating if you're listening to this this weekend. And if you happen to think about it, give us a shout out as to who won your tournament and what they were playing, and we'll make sure to shout that out, talk about it a little bit. Some other shout outs that I want to do as far as like just in the news and announcements, I just want to call out the big spenders that we have on Cerebro. So if you guys have been paying attention, Brad, now, and you can, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see it on my screen. He has put a Patreon button where you can subscribe to the Patreon for him for all the hard work that he does and keeping the Cerebro site going so that we can create rosters and stuff for this game. And I just want to shout out the big spenders. So we have Rusty, Brian, Dojo, DC, Jorn going, KPI, Glands 90, Ghost Bear, Drunk Poet, Mrs. Doubtfire, and Atules. So thank you guys for lending your support to Brad. I mean, it really means a lot. He has put like an ungodly amount of his free time into this, so it's very much appreciated that you guys are showing him some support, and we appreciate it as well. So thank you very much.
Did you just name everyone?
That was on the big spender.
Yeah, was that everyone, or was that just like some of them?
That
Uh,
was all of the
That
big
is
spending.
that is all the big spenders. So those are the people that are given $5 a month for the Patreon.
Oh,
He has different
pretty
levels, but
impressive.
yeah, he has different levels. So I think that
Y'all
one
don't
of
even know Brad and like him more than we do.
do what?
Said they don't even know Brad and like him more than we do.
Yeah, I know. Like if they met him, they probably wouldn't be donating. But I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That's a joke.
We love
Um,
you, Brad.
we love you, Brad.
Is it? Is it?
Yeah, those are the $5 a month guys. If you do want to subscribe to the Patreon or just show support, I believe he has like a $1 level in there too. So dollar a month, hardly nothing. He's trying to hit his goal of $100 a month, which I believe he is half at. So yeah, chip in, help a guy out. As far as the last of the news and announcements that we have, I think that they just dropped the new, or that they're starting to plug in the new, well, clearly Pyro News. They're starting to plug in the new kits, what am I looking for? Affiliation boxes. Yeah,
Yeah.
one for Brotherhood and one for X-Men. So I believe X-Men's Uncanny X-Men, and it has Storm, Cyclops, Beast, and Wolverine. And then the Brotherhood of Mutants has Sabretooth, Magneto, Mystique, and is it Toad?
It should be Toad.
Yes.
I'm like
Yes,
almost
it is.
positive it's Toad. So
Toad is in Magneto's box.
Yep.
So
So I,
Toad, Magneto, Mystique, and Sabretooth.
thank you. Okay. So and they all come with the new updated. I think if there's any changes on the tactics cards, they have the updates on there, but they are in the new um, landscape format. I do know that I've seen some people when I was weeding through the comments on their post, some people were asking, you know, how they're going to get the landscape cards. I believe that they have another card pack. It's probably going to be like the 2023 card pack, and that should have another wave of updated like landscape cards. So if you already own all the X-Men and Brotherhood people, you'll be able to pick up the card pack and be able to pick that up. You have to weed through it because it's like you have to go through like 5 posts of like when we going to get X-Wing stuff before you can actually get to like MCG stuff.
I'd honestly be shocked if they release a landscape pack when they have them out there. Like,
what do you mean?
I
No,
think the
they're
pack,
not. Well, they have to put them in the pack. Like they're not going to make people have to.
They just
get this
came
kit.
out with a pack and it didn't have anyone.
Well, yeah, but it's only like so many models, right? They're gonna do them in like waves. So like that was so many models.
No, no, that was all the updated models.
Yeah, it was all the updated models. What I'm saying is they're gonna start re-releasing all the cards landscape format. It's gonna come out in a new pack.
Yeah, but
I
don't think it is. I think it's gonna come out in these re-release like bundle packs.
No, there's no way. Because then the people would have to buy the packs even if they're already on the models to get the landscape cards.
Have you heard of marketing?
Nah, dude, they're not gonna do that. I'll bet money on it. I'll bet money on it right now, and I'm poor, and the such shows how confident I am.
You just spent so much money yesterday.
I know. What are you saying, Fred?
I have a hot take.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like the landscape format. I preferred the old style.
I know that not everybody likes it. Like, it was pretty, like... I think it seemed like it was a little bit more heavy in the dislike, but I think realistically it's probably more like 50-50. Well, at least right when it dropped. People are probably adjusted to it by now. I know that they had said that they had done that so that they could... It makes it easier to translate the card in different languages when they ship to other stuff, so...
It is very much more aesthetically pleasing.
There's more space for writing and if you do it landscape wise.
Yeah. It takes a long time to say stuff in Old English, Fred. And when you need all that space, you got to have the room on the card, you know?
Yeah, but sometimes you got to smash Isengard.
That's true. All right. So because we don't have Brad and I am ill prepared, we're not going to have a Longshanks fact this week. However, I will touch on Cerebro news and announcements. So he has done several updates. So you can check it if you go to the Cerebro page at the very bottom. He has, every new update that he makes, but the most recent one, which is as of 10/20, which is the day that we're recording, he reverted the roster view to an older method, and that is because I think he's having issues with the Sentinels. I think that those have been giving him fits where he has 2 of them in Cerebro, so you can add both to your roster. So he had to alter it slightly. I'm sure that he'll scream at me if I'm getting this wrong, but I think he did that so he could mess some stuff with the Sentinels. And then yesterday he made it to where filtering usable tactics cards will no longer show cards that need a second model you don't have. It will still show any affiliated cards if you have anyone with that affiliation. So those are the 2 most recent updates that he's made. He makes several more, but when we get him in here next week, he will be able to go into further detail as to why he's making the changes and what they are and all that stuff.
Tell us how wrong we are.
Yeah, me. I'm the one that's shooting myself in the foot here, but
I gave him that insight. I'll take part blame here.
All right. So, what we'll have next is the weekly topic. And the weekly topic, I asked this question last night, and I was talking to Bork asking him. But out of all the affiliations that are currently active in the game, what affiliations, and I know that some of them, this is going to be a little tricky because some of them don't have full 10 models, but what are the affiliations in the game that you think you can run just a complete mono affiliation for? So preferably if they have 10 models and affiliations, so something like, Cabal, Avengers, Brotherhood, X-Men, all those. But what affiliations do you think that you can just run mono and not need any other like support affiliations in there for you to be able to competitively win matches? And I'll go ahead and start. I think it is Avengers 100%. I think Brotherhood, you can run 10 Brotherhood models, not need anything else, and you'll be good. X-Men, I think that you should run a full X-Men roster. I think that that is very, very competitive. I'm still not sure if Malekith is enough to where like you'll run 10 Cabal models and you'll be fine. So I'm gonna probably hold off on that. Maybe that's a little bit of a hot take. And then I think Shield. Now I know, yeah, they have 10 models. I think that you could run all Shield models and you would be completely fine. So, what do you guys think?
Shield has 12 models for the record.
Yeah. I think those four for me are the ones that you could 100% take.
So they have to have 10 models?
Well, that's the thing. Like, not all affiliations have the 10 models, so I'll just say that definitely if they're 10 models, you can rank them in there. But if you're a little short, like Guardians of the Galaxy is a little bit short, but you have the game plan like you don't need another affiliation. You can just run mono, and you'll be fine. You don't need anything else, like any other affiliation support.
Let's take you would not be able to bring any tech pieces that you may be lacking, just to clarify.
Mm-hmm.
So let's take Guardians of the Galaxy, for instance. Guardians of the Galaxy would not be able to take the tech that I've seen quite often used with them, which is She-Hulk, to protect themselves against a Malekith list.
Yep.
And so anytime that they see Malekith, they're just going to be like, we're boned. And for that reason, I would say probably not Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
So one that could Criminal Syndicate?
Yeah.
I don't know, because there's a lot of stuff that's not Criminal Syndicate that I like, that I really enjoy playing with Criminal Syndicate. Like Lizard, like the Blob now.
Oh, I'm sure he's really good in Criminal Syndicate. Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least we know who didn't
like-
listen to the Blob episode.
No, I
Yeah.
didn't. I didn't listen to that yet. That's so good. That's clutch. All right, go ahead.
Well, if you want to know what my roster recommendation was.
I'm sure it was Criminal Syndicate. Yeah.
So we can talk about it. So Criminal Syndicate, you can play Black Cat, Bullseye, Hood, Killmonger, Kingpin, MODOK, Craven, Mysterio, Mega Red, Shadowland, Daredevil. That's your 10. That's perfectly good. There's nothing wrong with that 10,
I think
right?
if they didn't have Shadowland, I would say that maybe not. But because they have Shadowland, like
Shadowland definitely helped.
Yeah, he 100% helps and just opens up like you can pivot playstyle and just like mono CS and you'll be fine.
So models not named in that: Mysterio, Sin, Taskmaster, Green Goblin, Elektra, Crossbones.
Green Goblin's good too.
No, he's not. We're not doing this.
Yes, he is. He's
We're
excellent.
We're not doing this.
We'll save that for the Green Goblin episode. I'm excited.
So you said Avengers, X-Men, Brotherhood.
Yeah, and I'm pretty confident in those, like saying those.
Have you said any? You didn't say anything else?
I said Shield.
Shield. He said Shield.
Okay.
I think if you took those are like super like you could take that and you could just win tournaments like pretty decently. Like you have a really good shot.
Oh wait, you want these to be like winning lists?
Competitive, yeah.
Oh shit! All right, well, Defenders are out.
I mean, yeah, probably.
So like Defenders are very capable of playing within their roster. The problem is they're just so restricted with having a 5-point leader that wants to play a very specific way. I didn't mean. Go ahead, Fred. You can continue your thought. I feel like I jumped in there. There's a huge major one you guys have neither of you have mentioned so far.
I might be forgetting them.
Is it the Midnight Suns?
No, they only have 6 models, 7 models.
They only have. Oh, really?
Yeah, 3, 6, 8. I'm sorry, they have 8 models. So.
Okay, still.
But to be fair, any Midnight Suns list most likely has those 8 models in it.
I think that Midnight Suns needs like a second affiliation. Like that's one of the things. Like they might have like 8 models and stuff. So like you could count them. Like you could have a couple splashes and it like be all right. But like, I think that they need like a second affiliation. Like, I don't think that you can just play Midnight Suns. But I mean,
So
that's a hot take for me. I'm probably wrong, but
let's talk about Cabal. Let's talk about Cabal.
all
'Cause,
right, yeah.
I think that the point that Jared made, that they are would not be competitive, is if you bring just 10 Cabal.
I think you're competitive as soon as you set Malekith on the table.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but what I'm saying is like neither like if you're talking like full mono like 10 models, like yeah,
Cabal
but
has got a deep.
you're gonna have to play him every time. And I just think that like without like I think that Shield with like Fury's leadership and stuff, and he's only 4 threat, I think that that's enough that like you can alter what Shield models you're bringing and you will be able to play the game like at all times. And if people like, there's not a lot of tech for like Shield. You're just bringing like a bunch of cheap dudes. You know what I mean? Malekith has some like I feel like he does have some like you can drop some really good tech against him, and I just don't think that the other leaders are like there to help facilitate like a
Yeah,
like a consistent win. I guess is what I'm
I
saying.
get what you're saying. What you're
Yep.
saying is that like you couldn't just bring 10 Cabal, because every single game you have to put Malekith down
Yeah.
as your leader. Because Red Skull's not great and Sin is just,
Yeah.
sin. It's sinful. So I guess I guess you're probably right to say that, but I don't like agreeing with you.
That
That's
might
what I'll
be
say.
that might be. I mean, that's probably a hot take. So, are we talking about the what you're talking about, Brandon? Are you thinking of another?
No.
Okay, what's
Yeah,
the other
you got.
affiliation?
I don't know. And like you even named the leader of the affiliation, which is kind of hilarious. It's A Force, right?
Oh
Like A
yeah,
Force
you're
doesn't
right.
need anything else to be competitive
A-Force
besides
is
A
right.
Force
You're right.
models.
So the
That's
thing
correct.
is, I don't like that She-Hulk's the leader, and I think that that's a common like that's a common theme is that like you don't see A Force like you can take full mono A Force and it is good, but I think that them being stuck with She-Hulk, who I mean she's still like if they have the right stuff, even if they don't have the right stuff, like she can get plinked and just die. And more, I find myself trying to get away from like the really expensive leaders. Like Malekith he's a shit ton of fun. Like I've loved playing Malekith, but
It's also I would like to preface this that Jared's been a She-Hulk hater since the day she was released.
I'm not a She-Hulk hater. Again, I think I've said this on the cast, but she is very good. But I just
Hater.
think no,
Oh, sorry.
I think that just like she doesn't have like I've just seen She-Hulks die, and I've killed She-Hulks. Sometimes it feels trivially, like with not very much investment, and then also she. I'll just say like I've seen her also like she has no dice manipulation, so I've seen so many superior weight trained dice just absolutely shit. And I mean I know you can't blame dice, but where she doesn't have any kind of like consistent dice
As
manipulation
much
for a
as you've
six.
yelled at me for blaming dice, here you are blaming
Well,
dice.
well, what I'm saying is like she for a 6 threat character, she has no like way to facilitate that other than like chuck big buckets. And sometimes you chuck big buckets and you're really like clutching on it, and you just don't get what you need. And it feels really bad, especially when you're on like a 6 threat model. Like Dormammu, at least he's higher threat clearly, but he has like Count Skulls, Hulk. When you're looking at 6 threat, he has he gets more dice as the game goes on. So he has just a little bit more consistency, but he's also adding like staggers and pushes and everything on all of his attacks. You have Magneto, who gets full rerolls and stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't know. I might be wrong, and I might be in my own field, saying all that. But
Little bit of hater on the She-Hulk. Also, those are also the only affiliations that have equivalent amount of models.
10 models, yeah.
Yeah, it's X-Men. Brotherhood has 10.
They have exactly 10.
Yeah, right now they'll get 2 more, but they have exactly 10 at the moment.
Yep.
And to be fair, like even though they have 10, 1, 2, you're probably never playing like 3 of those. Maybe Pyro and Blobbin, we'll get into that in another cast, but that'll definitely make it very much so where you probably don't take any other models.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. We can talk about that later. But yeah, it's Avengers, A-Force,
Shield,
Shield.
Brotherhood, X-Men.
Yeah.
I think
Sorry,
so.
I'm trying not to indigestion.
Oh, you're good. I think
And
that
Defenders is the only one, the other one that has more than 10 models. And, like, so you have
Well,
Criminal Syndicate,
Oh,
A-Force,
and Cabal.
Cabal.
Yeah.
Criminal Syndicate, A-Force, Cabal, Shield, Avengers, X-Men, Brotherhood, and Defenders are the ones. So, I mean, and realistically, you don't need other models in any of it. A couple would benefit from a second leader. And hopefully we get those more than...
Well,
more than what, Brandon? I'm at the edge of my seat.
What? I'm sorry.
No, I'm just messing with you.
okay. Well, let's. I think that we have delved this topic.
Yep. So, let's move on to so we move on to games played. I played a little bit of Infinity with Brad. We've been playing through the introductory booklet, and we just finished the last mission. So it's a fun game. So if you've not tried it out, try it out. It's pretty good. But Fred did play a game. So would you like to go over that, Fred?
Sure. Yeah, I played a game against Mike, and we played Hydra v Hydra because we both bought the new Red Skull, and we both wanted to play the new Red Skull. So he played Hydra with Red Skull's affiliation, and I played Hydra with Baron Strucker's affiliation. And what I brought was, I believe that we were at 17 points. So I brought Red Skull, Baron Strucker, Baron Zemo, Arnim Zola, and one other person who I am currently blanking on.
Did you say Winter Soldier?
Nope, it was not Winter Soldier. And
Baron
he
Zemo?
brought.
Did you say Baron Zemo?
I did say Baron Zemo. Yeah,
I'd have to listen to you again. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
I see.
Way to
I
go,
see
Brandon.
how it is.
Way to
I'm
go,
so
Brandon.
sorry.
And Mike was playing Red Skull with Baron Zemo and Winter Soldier, along with. I'm having trouble remembering because he was using Beast and Colossus as his Red Skull. I keep wanting to say Beast and Colossus in my head.
He played Red Skull, Baron Zemo, Winter Soldier, Toad.
Nope, he did not play Toad.
One of you played Toad
That's
because
not
there was definitely a Toad on the battlefield. So if it wasn't you, it was
Neither
him.
one of us played Toad.
It might have been Brad you're thinking of. Anyways, what scenario did you play on?
Anyway, we played Spider Infected and the Legacy Virus.
Okay.
And it was
maybe I didn't watch
great
this game.
game.
I may not have watched this game.
You're
at all.
not talking about the same game, man. Come on.
I don't know what's going on. I'm just gonna back out now.
We played, and it was a great game. He pulled ahead pretty early because he was able to grab the middle objective real early, the middle extract. But it was basically he was scoring 5 points to my 4 points for the rest of the game because we were both playing extra KG.
I got you.
But he ended up being able to pull off the World Domination card, the card where Hydra can control, if Hydra is in control of all secure objectives at any one point, they score a victory point for each 2 objectives they control.
Yep.
And he was able to make that happen and in the process win the game.
Oh wow, that's cool.
It was a real clutch maneuver that he pulled off.
He doesn't have to control all the secures, right? It's just he can play it.
He has to control all secure.
I thought you just got
You
it
have to control all secures.
Oh, okay.
In order to trigger that, you have to have them all. So it's hard to do, but it's a big effect if you do. And it got him 2 victory points and the victory.
So what did you think about playing Strucker? Like, what did you think about?
I loved it. He did great. Like Baron the fight basically boiled down into 2 different sides of the battlefield. There was the left side of the battlefield and the right side of the battlefield. The right side, I had Baron Zemo and just the minions, the little troopers,
Mhm.
and he had Baron Zemo and Winter Soldier. So he was winning on that side. But on the other side, with Baron Strucker's support, I was well ahead in the attrition. Like his people. Oh, I had Hood. That's who I had. That's why I couldn't remember.
There you go.
Hood, who was great also. But on that side of the battlefield, I pulled well ahead, and it was going very much in my favor in the main battle. But he was able to sneak out a clever victory. You know, being Mike and being smart.
Yeah. So what? Being on a crisis combination that doesn't have any conditions attached to it, did you get very many leadership triggers during the game?
Yes, I did.
Oh
Yes, I
yeah.
did. Because that's part of what made Hood so good to use with Baron Strucker, is that Hood could heal, and in the process put out bleed on somebody,
Mhm.
and that person could then put that bleed on one of his people, and same with Arnim Zola. This happened multiple times where during an attack, Arnim Zola would make him reroll. I would have a skull in the die pool and give them bleed, and then I would then proceed to give their character bleed, the
Okay.
person
Cool.
I was. So that was just a nice little bit of synergy, and it felt really good. I liked playing Hydra with Baron Strucker as the leader.
You were an alch player, right? Alchemist.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
Love the Alchemist.
it's all making sense
Did he
now.
play Baron Mordo?
He did play Baron Mordo. That is correct. That
See.
was the person I couldn't think of on his side.
Look at me coming in.
Yeah, coming
Yeah,
in at the
you're,
very
you're
tail
coming
I've
end.
through.
since our
You're coming
last
through.
one, I've actually played against Mike twice.
Oh, why
So
don't you go ahead and you can recap a couple of your games.
he played Hydra both games. I played Criminal Syndicate both games. No, I didn't. That's a lie. I played Criminal Syndicate the first game, and then the second game I played Malekith Cabal with Criminal Syndicate, my Criminal Syndicate list. You want a quick recap or a detailed recap?
We just do quick.
The first one we played Spider Infected and Mare Fist Vows to Find Missing Witnesses. We played 17. I played Kingpin, Bullseye, Lizard, Blob, Shadowland, Daredevil. We played 16, and that's what I played. No, I played Hood, not Bullseye. Hood, not Bullseye. We played 17.
Okay.
It ended after, I think it ended in round 3 on points.
Your
Blob,
favor?
not, yeah, it was a good game and it was pretty close. Like the models and damage and stuff. The points just the extra secures really helped. Blob not being movable. Lizard, was good. Red Skull 2 did a lot of work. The second game, we played 20 points. We played alien ship crashes downtown and mutant madmen. So we played 20. So I played Malekith. Shadowland Daredevil, Kingpin. Is that 15? I did not play. Oh, Black Cat, Bullseye. I did not play Blob in that game because it was a pay to flip and Creekor. So
Did Malekith do the Lord's work?
yeah, it was. I set up Malekith in the middle, and then I set up on the right side Black Cat and Shadowland Daredevil on the left side. I set up Kingpin and Bullseye. He set up on the left side Winter Soldier, Black Cat, and Baron Zemo. And then on the right side, he had Red Skull and Strucker. The right side did not. Was like we flipped the core. Black Cat got it.
That's annoying. That's so annoying.
Round 2, my Black Cat flipped it. I ran away a little bit.
Yeah.
He chased her down and dazed her. So with 10 power, she flips, daggers Strucker, deals. So advanced on the other side of him, stole, moves long, grapples, and then so he was. I guess the part she went from right side to left side in the middle of this. Malekith, the previous turn had dazed Zemo, Winter Soldier, and Black Cat.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a mess over there. We went Malekith, then killed Zemo and Black Cat, and then Kingpin ended up killing Winter Soldier, I believe. But with the leadership for Malekith, I then got to move Black Cat to the other side of Malekith. So Malekith was in between Black Cat and like Red Skull 2
Oh, like body
and
blocking. Yeah, that's clever.
yeah, and I had Kingpin and Malekith kind of blocking her out, so they couldn't really get around. I mean, they could obviously still attack her, but it was just like, and then the next turn Malekith just did Malekithy things. It was that game was actually super close. I'm not giving Mike's side of it because Baron Strucker and Red Skull 2 did the Lord's work. But I mean, when it really came down to it, Malekith was just a lot.
Yeah, he's too much.
To
Huh?
overcome, yeah. And like I said, he was still learning to play, but I mean, both games, I probably didn't give them justice on how close they really were. The second game felt a lot closer. The second game was a lot closer, especially on points, than the first. The first game just felt really close. The points weren't super close, but the second game, it was. I think it finished at like 16-14 or something like that. Like it was pretty close. It was just kind of like there were only like 5 points you could get a turn. So it was kind of a slow grind. I think it ended going into 5. It would just unfortunately it's really hard for Red Skull and Baron Strucker to chase them down or chase her down.
Yeah.
Especially when there's a stagger involved.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
It's
glad.
like, you're staggered, and I'm gonna run away here.
I'm glad
Red Skull's, is it the spender?
the one that
I'm trying to
throws?
pull it up real quick.
Yeah, it's the one that throws. You pick like it
yeah.
can be Mystic.
I'm just trying to make sure. Yeah, the kneel before me. Yeah, that attack's really good. As you know, portrayed. But yeah, it's just one of those where they only have those range 2 and 3s. It was kind of like, and Malekith having some, and then Malekith being able to that next turn he charged in and threw them further away. I probably played. There's some misplays and stuff, but they were really good games.
Well, you haven't played forever. I'm glad that you finally got to play again. It's been a long time since you played.
Yeah. Someone didn't want to play with me yesterday.
Yeah, it was me.
Yeah, I feel good. Going back, starting back 2-0 with old CS. So.
Yeah.
The list feels really good. Blob feels so good. Against Fred's recommendation, I hate Hood. Hood can just fuck out of here.
What were you saying, Fred?
That was all happening during a certain mass combat event, wasn't it?
The second game was, yeah. The second game definitely was happening during a mass combat event where I almost ran into battle for Fred.
I know that Brad played last night, which I didn't get to watch his game. All I know is that he was getting his ass cheeks clapped by Michael, like pretty bad. I think he was playing Sentinels.
Yeah.
But he got super excited because he played the card where when the Sentinel gets KO'd, you can blow him up and damage things within 2. And I'm pretty sure that he dazed or KO'd almost all of Michael's team.
Yeah, he dazed 2 and KO'd 2.
Yep.
Holy moly.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
he had already had 2 Sentinels KO'd, and that was the third one.
No. Yeah, like he was absolutely getting clapped, but
the only model he had left after that was Toad. So
yeah.
So
that's exactly what. Yeah, it's exactly when you want that card to come in, right? It's just one of those like.
All right, let's go on to character review if you guys are ready.
Sure.
All right, so we're looking at the original Human Torch, aka Jim Hammond. So he is 342 on his stat line. He is 5 stamina. He is 3 threat. He comes in at size 2, and he's a medium move. He has 2 attacks. He has Burn Baby Burn, which is energy. It's a beam 3 4 dice attack. After each attack is resolved, this character gains 1 power, and it has the Wild Immolate attached to it. So after each attack, they gain Incinerate if you get a Wild. He has the Nova Burst Energy Spender. It is a beam 2. It is 4 dice, and it costs 1 power. When this attack is chosen during the pay power cost step of the attack, this character may spend up to 7 additional power. Add 1 die to each attack made for each power spent this way. So you can really buff it up to potentially 11 dice. After each attack is resolved, the target character gains the Incinerate special condition, so no wild attached to that, just happens. And then if this attack deals damage after each attack is resolved, this character suffers 1 damage. So if you hurt them, you hurt yourself. So an interesting effect added on there. He has the active superpower Hit and Run, costs 2. It's an action, and you can make an attack followed by a move. You can only use it once per turn. It has the active superpower Too Hot to Handle. It's 3 cost. Choose an enemy character within 2 of this character. The chosen character drops 1 asset token it is holding. So he doesn't take it, but it's an interesting way to make people drop stuff. He has the reactive superpower like touching a stovetop. It costs 2 power. When an enemy character would push or throw this character, after the effect is resolved, this character may use the superpower. That character that caused this effect suffers 1 damage. He has the passive superpower Controlled Burn. When this character ends an advance, it gains 1 power for each character within 2 of it with the Incinerate special condition. So note that that's just each character, so it counts as allies as well. He has Flight, and finally he has the immunity Incinerate. When you look on his injured side, he has no changes. So before we get into what we think about him, I always forget to do this. I'm going to talk about a tactics card that he can use. And that's called A New Age. So this is a shield card, and the original Human Torch is affiliated with shield. So it's a shield card. It is active. Jim Hammond may spend 3 power to play this card, so that's important because if there's another Human Torch that gets released, and his name is still Jim Hammond, then you'll be able to play this with either one. Each enemy character within 3 of Jim Hammond gains the Incinerate special condition. This round, when an allied shield character is attacking a character with the Incinerate special condition, if the attack type is energy, add 2 dice to the attack roll. So that's a pretty crazy effect, is just giving all enemies within 3 Incinerate. Just paying 3 power, you get to do it. And then you get to add 2 dice for every attack roll against them if they're rolling energy. And there are several characters in Shield that have energy attacks, so you'll be good there. So yeah, let's go into what we think about the original Human Torch. Why don't you lead us off, Fred?
Okay, so the Spender is I like that he has only beam attacks. That's kind of interesting. It kind of goes with the whole he's attacking multiple people at the same time all the time. Mm-hmm. He's a fireball. It's weird that it does him damage.
Oh, for the Spender?
Yeah. It does him a damage. And he's pretty fragile, let's be frank.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a whole lot of defensive tech, and his defensive stats are not ideal. I mean, he is only 3 points, but he's only got 10 stamina. And yeah. Hit and run will help with that, I guess. He can go in, hit someone, and then retreat or move on. But I think that this guy's biggest problem is going to be that he is not difficult to take off the field.
Yep.
I like Too Hot to Handle a lot. That's pretty solid. Anything that affects, objective tokens is going to be useful, and it's going to be part of why you take them, I think. And I think that this guy's going to be someone who chases around the real extract hogs like Black Cat. But I'm not sure he's going to be very good at taking her out. We'll see. I don't know.
Having the 4 dice makes it like so. Being 3/4 dice, like you can get a lot of spikes, and Shield has quite a few just like 4 dice attacks. I mean, like you make a lot of like lower quality attacks, right? So he kind of plays into that, which I do like. I don't. I'm with you. Too hot to handle is a really fantastic superpower. It's really really good.
Hmm.
And controlled burn is a pretty interesting passive. I actually like that quite a bit. I like that you can like is so and here's a is this character immediately makes an attack action followed by a move action. After the move action, does that count as advance? It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it should. I believe so.
So you could hit and run, like you could beam and pay for hit and run, incinerate a couple people, and then after that move into them and then get the power for
And
controlled
gain the
burn.
power.
So that's pretty good.
That's cool.
I don't know that I like touching a stovetop. Like that's a really good like clutch one if people forget that you have it. Like I don't think that you're going to use that every time that you get pushed or thrown. Because 1 damage for 2 power and you're like that's all you're doing. Like Bullseye has parting shot, so like you'll do damage, but you also get like a short advance, which is nice. This one you're
Hmm.
just paying 2 power for the 1 damage, but I like it that you won't do it very often, and I feel like people will forget that you have it. And if they try to do something toward the end game, if he's not like dead, and they're trying to get him off a point, and they only have like a couple HP left, that can really catch people off guard. So I do like it for like almost like a surprise factor. But I'm with you on
Okay.
Nova Burst. Like it's a really good attack, but I feel like you're really only going to do that when you are attempting to like murder a model like 100%. Like you're not just going to do this willy-nilly and be like, "Oh, I'm just going to put like a 6 dice one out there." I don't think that you're going to do that very often. I think that you're going to like get flipped toward the like mid to end of the like game, and then you're going to use it to try to just pick up as many models as you can, like whether or not you kill yourself. So I don't know that you'll be doing it all the time, but I might be wrong.
I have a question actually with the way that that is worded.
Okay.
Uh, so it says you may pay the spend up to 7 additional power.
Mm-hmm.
So you would it would not cost it, that does not include the one that it initially costs,
No,
correct?
it does
So
not.
like if
So
you were to pay 2, you would be rolling 1 additional dice, as in you'd be rolling 5 dice
correct.
if you spent 2 to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, you will pay at max. You'll pay 8 power for it, but you're only going to gain 7 additional dice
Yeah.
unless you
Yeah.
play. Oh wait, no, you couldn't do that because wait, no, yeah, you could. So you could play a new age, and then you could beam and get some power, and then you can overburst and make it 13 dice. So
I mean, yeah. You're right. That would be very good.
I don't know.
You can play
I,
Baron Mordo and make it 15 dice.
oh my God, let's stack it up.
It-
I don't know.
Brandon,
I don't think that's any
take it
good.
away.
Yeah, go ahead, Brandon.
Take it away. Brandon.
All right. I'd just be the Debbie Downer again, I guess. That's my normal role here. Um,
I mean, neither. I'm not really being
no one's
a
no one's
pity.
being a positive Patty, but I'll be I don't know. Like he does things. The beam 2 on Nova Burst is inherently kind of annoying. The fact that you take a damage for each model you hit is even more annoying. Um, hit and run's very good. I like his 3 superpowers: hit and run, too hot to handle, and like touching a stovetop. Um, I also like controlled burn. I think that's a nice way for him to get extra power. However, he has 10 total health, which is bad. All right, that's
Mhm.
bad.
Yeah.
He has no way to reroll dice. He's rolling 3 and 2 on his non-energy. And energy, I believe, is still the least common attack in the game. I know it's got really close when the Convocation wave came out, everything was Mystic, and we just don't have a lot of energy attacks. There's not a lot of prominent characters that have energy attacks. Malekith does, but he has all 3. I'm not sure he's super survivable, like at all. He doesn't do anything really control-y. I do like, again, 2 hot to handle is really good. 3 is still a lot.
Yeah.
So I think that he really comes in and he
I
shines.
wish Burn Baby Burn was a beam 4.
Beam Forward? No, that's probably too good. I wish
too
that no,
good.
I wish that
4 dice
Nova
beam 4? I don't think so.
I wish that Nova Burst was A2. That would be fucking
A2
sick.
would
Hey, that
make
would
more
make
sense.
That would be
that
fucking
would
sick.
make more sense.
Yeah.
That would be much better.
So I
We
think
haven't
that
gotten area attack in a long time.
he
No, we
really
haven't.
shines. I do think he shines in Shield because like Shield runs a lot of like at least whenever I play it and from what I've seen people play and like heard about is they run like really that they just really run like a lot of like spam. So you have a lot of cheap dudes that get like a lot of value, like can do like small attacks. So it's cheap guys, and you usually get good value out of like their stuff because they're rolling so much, like so many small like dice pools, and you just spike. Um, I think he plays really well into that. I think that he shines when you have so many models on the table that maybe other things are more priority like threat. So models that are like getting up on points and doing things like that, like you want to remove them first. So I think that if he can kind of be left alone and just be able to do his thing, I think he really shines. I think again, I think he shines when there are just so many models on the table that they don't exactly know who to hit. I think that his tactics card is amazing. I think that he has really good superpower. So I think if he wasn't 3 threat, which he is, and he has a lot for a 3 threat model, so let's not forget that he is 3 threat. He does pretty good things. I think because of that, and because I think he plays really well in affiliation, I think that makes him a decent model. So
Decent?
Can we look at what the shield models, because it does specify they have to be shield models on the card. Which ones have energy attacks?
so
I
when
don't
you're
think there are all that many. I know that Iron Man is shield,
so you have
and Iron Man has energy.
yeah, you have Iron Man, you have Human
Uh-huh.
Torch, you have Nick Fury and the Howling Commandos, you have
Yep.
Hawkeye
Yeah, Black
Hawkeye.
Widow.
because he can change his attack type to energy.
Both Black Widows.
Okay.
Both what?
Black Widows.
Both Black Widows do have energy, and that actually, oh my God, let me back out
Yeah,
of this
you're
for a
right.
second.
Both
So
Black Widows.
when you're looking at Black Widow, when you give her 2 additional dice, and quite frankly, you do take her, at least with core Black Widow, you do take her fairly frequently as like a 2 threat drop just to be annoying.
Yep.
Uh, oh, that's not, mixed technique's not, but giving her 6 dice strikes that can make you lose a power is pretty good. Like that makes her as a 2 threat character, just chucking 6 dice attacks. I mean, that's pretty good.
Also, Widow's Kiss on 3-point being base 8 dice with an additional dice for each special condition. So it's going to be base 9 dice.
All because of
Because
Incinerate.
Be incinerated. Yeah.
Yep, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
That's
I
That's
pretty
not
like
bad.
good.
that a lot. I think the tactics card is the best thing about him because it's just that 5 health on each side, man. That is, I don't like it. I talk
And
about health a lot, and that is, I do not like that.
You want to know a fun fact? I actually, like, you guys don't see this, but people on YouTube will see it. We've shit posted about not doing Human Torch for so long, and I was just like baked into my like subconscious that I titled like when I built this just so I could have the cards available. I had this titled the Pyro review, and I actually had Pyro instead of Human Torch there. So I was like,
Whoops.
clearly we're not doing Human Torch, but we were. So I had to change it out. The title's still Pyro review. What an idiot. Yeah, so we can go on and just let's go ahead and give our ratings. So we'll go with you this time, Brandon. What are you going to give Jim Hammond?
I don't think he fits in anywhere. I'm not even sure he's really all that good in Shield, so I'm gonna give him a C minus.
Okay. What do you think, Fred?
I was gonna give him a C plus. I think that ability to make people drop extracts is pretty solid. It can be pretty helpful. So C plus and that tactics card. So yeah, that's right.
I think with the tactics card, I think that he does do really well in Shield. Well, I haven't tried him yet, but I think that he probably he seems to me on paper like he fits. I'm for 3 threat. I think that he brings a decent amount of stuff, so I'm going to give him a B minus. I think that he's all right.
Okay.
So B minus, C minus. Did you say regular C or C plus?
C plus.
C plus. So a little bit over the board, but
What did you give him?
me?
Yeah,
B minus.
B minus. A B? Wow. Yeah.
I think that he's all right.
Alright.
Like for a 3 threat. If there's anything else, I think it would be kind of meh. But I've played a lot of Shield, and I think that he fits in. So Yeah. Let us know in the comments if you guys have used him because he has been out for a while. We've been dodging him just because we've been assholes. But if you guys have played with him and stuff, let us know.
Yeah,
Send
if
us.
he's good, tell us we're wrong.
Yeah,
Because I
absolutely.
would love to be wrong on this one. Because I like him in theory, but I don't like him as he looks.
I should play him. I should buy him and then play him into your Strucker. Wouldn't that be a great game?
Yeah.
Just dish it back to me. I'm sure you'd love that. All right. So I believe for this week, Fred has the comic book recommendation that Brad has submitted, correct?
I do. I
All
do
right.
indeed.
So take it away for us, please.
Okay, so for the original Human Torch, the first comic book that Brad has recommended is Marvel Comics #1 by Carl Burgos. This is the origin of the Human Torch, and it's literally the first comic that Marvel Comics has ever made. It's the first
Hey.
one, and it's original Human Torch,
Wow, look
which
at
is
that.
very interesting. Yeah, I've not read it. I don't know anything about it other than the blurb that Brad has placed here. But I mean, that's interesting. This was the guy who started. I mean, it's probably him with other people. I'm assuming the Fantastic Four. I have no idea. I have no clue.
That's crazy. I did not
Anyway,
realize that. You would think it'd be like Captain America or somebody, you know what I mean? But
Marvel Comics. Well, maybe it wasn't called Marvel when it was Captain America.
oh, I
This is
gotcha.
Marvel Comics 1, and it's the comic that started Marvel Comics as a company. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Stan Lee. I don't know. I don't know the details, so I'm not going to speculate. Okay, the second one that's on this list is a comic called Torch by Alex Ross, Mike Casey, and Patrick Birkencoder. The Mad Tinker is curious about the quote unquote dead android Jim Hammond. He steals his body and aims to resurrect him to serve AIM. There were so many nouns in that sentence that I don't understand.
Is so Jim Hammond's supposed to be an android?
Did he give you a script to read?
Yeah.
He sent me, yeah. Have heard every word in the script that I was given,
You did great.
I like it. You did do a
and
phenomenal job.
I also editorialized a little bit in between. So
I would have been disappointed if you didn't.
yeah, but those are probably both on Marvel. What's the app called, Jared?
I think it's Marvel Unlimited.
Marvel Unlimited. So
Yep.
everyone who has Marvel Unlimited, go read you some old comics like Marvel Comics 1.
The oldest
Probably
Marvel
good.
comic.
It's probably really good. You know what?
You go read
'cause
it, Fred.
there's an older sensibility that I kind of am very interested in. Of like, it's not everything is big. They're like fighting just street criminals or gangs or something. It's not big things that they're fighting against.
Mhm.
I don't know. It'd be interesting.
Listen, if you have a pristine copy of this comic, just send it to me or Fred.
I'll take it. I
Pristine,
will take
baby.
it, and I will put it in a hermetically sealed container, and I will sit on it for another 20 years.
I will sell it immediately.
All right. Well, thank you.
I will read it and enjoy it for the rest of my life.
Hey, that's probably a better thing than what I said.
Well, thank you very much, Fred, and thank you, Brad, for submitting that for us to have this week. It's much appreciated. All right, Brandon, why don't you give us a quick roster recommendation for this guy?
Oh god.
Criminal
This one has
Syndicate.
been this. No, I think he's don't play him in Criminal Syndicate. Don't do it. It's not good. I've been waffling between two. I think he is decent with Dormammu. Just as just to give out incinerates.
Oh,
And then
okay.
hit hard.
Yeah.
The other one is probably even worse because it's like Inhumans. Because paired with Crystal, you can give out a lot of conditions.
I actually think I like that pretty well.
Yeah,
Full
it's
four
kind of the
Inhumans. I think that you'd be all right in there.
yeah. I think it's you can play with like Crystal, um, Medusa, Black Bolt, Lockjaw, and you've got an interesting little list there with Human Torch thrown in there, giving out a lot of just being it makes you can like especially if you separate Crystal and Human Torch, you kind of have incinerates available to you on both sides of the board. Um, and allows Black Bolt to hit. Actually feel like you're getting the 5 points of value out of him. Um, and Medusa can do her thing because she does her thing very well. Uh, that's yeah. So those are the two that I came down on. So I like it with Crystal, and then you can play and play on Demons Downtown. Maybe instead of Lockjaw, play another piece that's like super hitting, like another hard hitting 3 with Human Torch. That way you can kind of take advantage of the incinerates.
All right, cool. Thank you very much. Finally, let's go on to Fred's non sequitur recommendations. What do you have for us this week, Fred?
All right, so for today, what I've brought for you is a little classic movie from our own favorite director, Mel Brooks, and it is a movie
Hey.
called Blazing Saddles.
Hey.
Yeah,
That's
this
a
is
good
a
one.
great movie. This is a great movie, and it holds up. It is still funny today, and it is in my opinion the best movie made by Mel Brooks. I think that I will stand by that statement. There's some good ones in there, but this is his best movie.
Blazing
Uh,
Saddles is incredible. Like, it's a great comedy.
it really is, and
Do you think
so
they
the
could get by with making it today?
absolutely not.
Yeah, no, not at all.
No,
Yeah.
Zero
not at all.
percent chance.
Yeah.
I would like to chime in on this 0% chance.
Yeah.
There, there's no way it gets made today. Uh, it is a great movie with some great performances, and you should watch it today.
That's a like I always know that like it's made and like I like it, but sometimes you know how you just like forget about something until somebody like sparks your memory.
Oh yeah, I
You
know.
you you just did that for me, and I want to watch it.
That movie is
It's a
also
good
one of
movie.
those that it's like the world also kind of wants you to forget about it. Like,
Yeah,
especially
a
in
little
like
bit.
this day and age, like it's definitely part of like, maybe if we just forget this ever existed.
Yeah, there's some moments in it that are not that are
Uns
pretty
un
cringy.
Unsavory.
But I think that to defend the movie, I think that the times that that's the case, the joke is that that character who's saying that thing is wrong and bad.
Yeah, I
But yeah,
it's an old movie that is very very humorous, and it doesn't hurt to give it a watch, you know. So.
yeah.
I'll tell you it's another thing that sparked me. This movie probably also couldn't be made anymore, but it's There's Something About Mary. Did you ever see that movie?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's
Uh,
a great
that's a funny
movie.
movie. It sparked my I think I was at work and some guy was like coconut. And somebody says that in that movie, and for whatever reason, that jarred the back of my brain. I was like, "Holy shit, I love that movie! I need to watch that." So it's just like stupid words that just like, or somebody brings something up and it just like sparked me, and I'll get so excited. So I'm gonna have to watch Blazing Saddles now. Thank you, Fred.
You're welcome.
All right, well that wraps us up for this week, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Next week, hopefully Brad will be joining us again, and we will look at Pyro. So yeah, till next time. Talk to you guys later.